Sis and wellness, everything wellness, mind, body, and soul.
So today we're going to talk Ready to Love DC episode 4. Okay, so at this point, I feel like I was more so impressed at the beginning of the season, like the very beginning. I kind of thought this episode was going to give me more, of that thrill that I started off with, but no, it was kind of dry. So let's get into it. The episode opens with the men in the gentleman's lounge. Last week the women eliminated Carrington, so this week it's the men's turn to eliminate somebody. So our boy Corey, he's talking about how he wants to get on some dates. And Frank takes it serious to get up out of his comfort zone. And he says that that's his element. All right, so first date. Frank and Aisha. Their chemistry was nice. He remembered a lot of details about her, which was cool. I think every lady loves when a guy can kind of repeat back to you things that you've said or some things of importance to you, because he remembered like how many kids she has and things like that, their ages, whatever. Aisha says that Frank gives her butterflies, and the date was really cute. He tells her that she is his initial connection, and he likes how she carries herself and her level of confidence, and it was just all good. They were in a cute little photo booth. They were kissing, being flirty, did a lot of touching. Okay, that date was nice. Tyrone and Carrie meet up for a date. So last episode, it was exposed that Tyrone felt that Carrie was aggressive, and he felt that they didn't have chemistry. And he said that he could only have 3 women. He could only handle 3 women. Like, that's his full capacity. So, okay. He called her aggressive, and that's when things went downhill. Don't ever call a black woman aggressive. That is literally declaring war. He should know better than that. And I feel like maybe aggressive wasn't the right word. I feel like a lot of people, when they use the word aggressive to describe someone, it can often be replaced with another word. I feel like she's a woman who kind of was a little bit more assertive than he probably would like. And that's a nice synonym for aggressive. Or the way he perceived her as being aggressive. I think it was more so she was being assertive and kind of putting it out there that she liked him and wanted to know if he felt the same. So anyway, she ended up checking him and let him know that she was showing interest in him, and that's what he sensed rather than aggression. So there you have it. She texted him after a date, basically, with someone else, and asks if he is still interested in her, and that rubbed him the wrong way. Now, although I didn't agree with his word usage, calling her aggressive, I do think that was kind of like in poor taste, or maybe a bad move on her part to ask him if he still was interested in her, because I feel like let him make his decision. Would it have made you rest better that night to know whether or not he was interested? I mean, that's a question for Carrie. I really feel like sometimes acting like you don't care, or acting like you're not bothered, or how can I put it? Yeah, like being unbothered can possibly be a turn on, because no person in the beginning stages of dating anyways wants to be bothered with too many questions. Never have a guy say, oh yeah, that turns me on when you sit up here acting pretty much like insecure, because I really do feel like that was an insecure kind of question to want to know, like, oh, are you still interested in me? It's a dating competition show, girl. Like, you gotta be confident. I feel like you have to be confident to be on a show like this. So anyways, like I said, she texted him. I think that was a bad move. She feels like she wasn't putting any pressure on him by asking if he was interested. And I think that's for him, that came on a little bit strong, like I said, her being assertive like that. So she seemed like the type of girl who wants transparency, is what I wrote. I think she wants transparency and not to be led on. Like, nobody wants their time wasted. But I really feel like if you're going to do a dating competition show, like, you're literally signing up to be played with and manipulated to some degree. That's just my opinion. So next scene, Corey, Cornelius, Courtney, and Camille go out on a double date. Camille likes Cornelius clearly, but again, Courtney was involved in this date. He is feeling Courtney, okay? He likes both of them. But Courtney was involved on this date, and she was supposed to be on a date with Corey all at the same time. So Camille wasn't even feeling the hug between Courtney and Cornelius. And I'm like, like I said before in my last review, he's probably not the man for you, Camille. If you are not okay with him giving anybody else attention, him looking at another woman, like I said, it's a dating competition show. So you have to have a level of confidence. Now, is it easy to watch the person that you like be all over someone else or swoon all over someone else? No. But literally, it's what you signed up for. So here we go. Camille asks Cornelius if he's jealous because of the hug between Courtney and Cornelius. No. Camille asks Cornelius if he's jealous based on Courtney, how she was interacting with Corey. That's the right thing. I said it the second time. I'm like, girl, stop being so thirsty. Again, it's all about your level of confidence when you're doing something like this. You don't need to be asking about nobody else but your damn self. Don't ask these men about the other women. That's just the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Cornelius at this point does not seem to be into Camille too much because they're at the skating ring and it's a double date, like I said. And I don't even understand when Cornelius said Corey was keeping Courtney occupied for him. What? How does another man keep the girl you like occupied for you? That did not make sense, Cornelius. Because Corey definitely had his hands all over Courtney's waist. So I'm like, did Corey tell you that he was going to keep Courtney occupied for you? Like, where did you get that? Because that sounds dumb as hell. Like, that sounds dumb as hell. It really does. Anyway, Camille asked Cornelius about waiting for sex again, and he stuck to what he initially said. Camille asked about Cornelius's debt. I thought that was strange. And at that point, that's when she starts talking about like how she got a bachelor's, 2 masters, and a PhD. And how she's in student loan debt. And Cornelius is kind of just like not okay with that. Because she's talking about like taking that debt to her grave with her. And he's like, you could tell he was a little bit turned off by that. That's her mentality. Like, you went to school, financed it however you financed it, and you have all this debt, and you talking about not even paying it back. You're talking about carrying it to the grave. Like, if I could peg it, I think Camille, I can't remember her age, but she has to be late 30s, early 40s. So I think that's a weird kind of outlook to want to carry that debt until death. But anyways, he said he invests his money. We talking about Cornelius now. He said he invests his money and he saved. So I hope that's inspiring to her, motivating to her to pay down her freaking debt and to, be smart with her money. Cornelius says Camille's interest in him is flattering, but he hopes that she does not get too possessive. I could see it since day one. Since Camille met Cornelius, she has been possessive. So, sir, what are you talking about? You hope she doesn't get possessive. She's been possessive over you since meeting you. So I remember her making the jokes that you're her boyfriend, y'all gonna have a baby, and this and that and the third. So please, I feel like Cornelius is playing dumb. Corey and Courtney chat. She says that she feels like he was trying to talk to everyone, and she doesn't like her dudes doing too much. This is like in the past, because Corey was in everybody's face. He had wanted to take out like every girl there on a damn date. Corey is talking about a lifetime partner, a ride or die, and I don't believe his ass. I feel like here we are, 4 episodes in. You just came off of learning your lesson of trying to talk to every girl. That's a big leap, jump, everything to be like, now you ready to settle down when a few episodes ago you was in everybody's face. I don't believe you, Corey. I get that. I wrote that. I get he's trying to change, but nah. Anyway, so he gives Courtney flowers and they hug close. That was, I guess, what it was. Like I said, I don't believe Corey. Next scene, Walter and Moomin, they go on a date. I like Moomin. I think is a very beautiful girl. So I did like the way her and Corey look together, and I do like the way her and Walter also look together. They walk with their arms around each other on the date. She says she likes his conversation because it's diverse. She asks if he wants to get married again. He says yes. He wants kids, he wants more kids, but marriage first. Walter talks about his dad being in the Philippines. He talks about him writing his dad a letter to explain his feelings of how he felt growing up, because there was some tension there. And it didn't really work, but he felt proud of himself for sending off that letter. Moomin talks about liking older men. I said, okay, Moomin. They say they want another date with each other, and they say they want to explore their connection. And I thought that was a vibe. Like, I really think that it's so wonderful when both people are on the same page. I do think it's okay for one person to like the other person more, but I do also like when the two people clearly are there with each other, like both feeling the connection. It seems like that's kind of promising. So that was a cute and vulnerable date because they ended up sharing a lot through discussion. So the next scene, there's a double date with Shiloh, Dante, Carrie, Phil. It's a workout type of date. Whew. Okay, so Dante was the leader of, the workout, and he had the girls sweating and stretching using bands. Phil and Shiloh, they go to the side and end up talking for the first time ever. So the workout was good, and Shiloh likes meditation, breathing, and they talked about the mixer, and they kind of bored me with that scene, no lie, because Phil was like, oh, I feel there's an attraction there, but he was not giving a lot of energy. Like, to me, he didn't seem to be giving it a good go. Like, he didn't seem like he was really trying, to spark up any romance there with Shiloh. So she was mostly okay, and I guess she was mostly okay with him, and that was it. That's all I had for that scene. It was kind of dry. Dante and Carrie, they talked. Dante was not feeling Carrie based on what I saw. She came right out and was like, do you want me? Carrie, this was another scene of being assertive. I'm not going to use that word aggressive because I'm not going to paint another black woman in that light. However, why would you think that that's okay to ask this man, do you want me? Like, anyways, I do feel like this. Let him take the lead. Let him tell you he wants you. That's never a question you should be asking any guy. So anyway, Dante said he was thrown off by the conversation and that it didn't flow. And I agree, because after you said that, girl, it's like, what? Like, how do you come back from that? Next scene, Naeem and Zadia have a date mixing cocktails. Another couple I think looks cute together, because Zadia, if you remember, she said that she does like Naeem and I believe Dante. She's into the bald head bearded look, so that's what both of them have. So their conversation was okay, and she asks how his friends would describe him and if he spoils women. And I'm like, okay, these questions, of course he's gonna say what you want to hear. It's kind of like being on a job interview. You know what to say to seal the deal. You know what the employer wants to hear from you. So I felt like it was a similar situation. She should have known that he was gonna say like, yes, he spoils women and things like that, and of course his friends are gonna say good things about him, whatever. I did write that I like that Naeem is transparent and he came out and let Zadia know that he likes her. I think that was very important for him to do, because it's kind of like him solidifying, her, it's kind of like putting her in a place where she can feel confident about their connection, and it's not nothing to speculate or nothing to second guess. It's like he's telling you that, yes, I like you. So I think that that's good for her confidence. However, he did say that he's gonna get to know other women and do the competition right there. I like that too, because he's like, yeah, I like you, but I'm also going to make sure I do my due diligence and explore other connections that might possibly come up. But I want you to know, like, we do have a connection. So it flashes back and forth after that between Naeem and Zadia's date and then Frank's date with Tissia. So while Frank is on his date with Tissia, they're making cocktails. And remember, he's the guy who does the kombucha cocktails. Tissia says that Frank was never on her list of connections. It was very apparent given the conversation, because Tissia wanted to talk everything professional. She wanted to talk about her professional life. She wanted to talk about her master's degree at a young age. She wanted to talk about everything that had to do with like her life in a professional sense, but never about things that he was interested in getting to know her on, like what kind of friends she has and what she likes to do outside of work. I feel like she lost the opportunity to really build a connection with Frank. Honestly, I think that she was so wrapped up in just kind of trying to sell herself that she lost sight of like why she was there. So that was that, and Frank pretty much said that not feeling like how her conversation was gonna get them to where they need to go. So back at the Gentleman's Lounge, wrapping up the episode, Corey talks about how many men was his top choice before Courtney kind of split his attention. Oh, Courtney basically stole Corey's attention. He looked kind of disappointed when Moomin's name came up, because he did have a connection with her, but Walter was saying how he's feeling her now. So Tyrone talks about how he has a connection with Shiloh and how they talk on the phone all the time. A note I made, I get that the show is edited, but when they have these group discussions, some of the stuff and the connections that the people are discussing, we don't get to see it. And some of it seems kind of random because we didn't see it. Phil said that he was the only one. Phil said he thought he was the only one checking for Shiloh in his confessional. So it was interesting to hear that Tyrone is feeling her too. And I think that this speaks to my point about like what we don't get to see versus what we're being told. Cornelius talks about Camille and his attraction to her. But he also brought up Courtney and him talking on the phone. That was another random thing. He says he's willing to put in the work. So Walter talks about his date with Moomin and how good the convo was, and it was so easy to talk to her. I agree. Like I said, I like them. I like the way that they vibe together. And Naeem and Zadia, he says he had a good time with her on the date, but he wants to see where it goes. All right, so the women who are at the bottom this week. Tissia was mentioned by Frank and Naeem, and Tyrone talked about his interaction with Carrie, the aggressive woman, which I feel like he meant to say assertive. Cornelius, he mentioned Sabrina as his bottom, and that was a curveball because we all know Sabrina is a favorite of the show. Like, Sabrina is beautiful, and I feel like a lot of the men felt so initially, so I don't even know where that came from, Cornelius. I'm sorry. All right, so show ends with the 2 dates for the women who are at the bottom. Cornelius takes out Tissia. He says he wanted a date with her for a while. He says the men feel like they're getting a wall built up by her. She says she's ready to love. And this is the second time that Tissia is in the bottom. So she says she's going to work on some things. Naeem takes out Carrie. She says she finally gets to spend some time with him. And Naeem lets her know that you're a beautiful and intelligent woman, but the guys don't feel you're ready to love. She says she didn't get the time to know the men. And honestly, I think she just came off too strong in certain ways for the men of this show. There were certain times where I was just like, girl, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you say that? But she just, I guess, wanted to know where she stood. Like, certain people aren't built for these type of competitions, and I know I'm damn sure in that. I'm not trying to compete for nobody's attention or time or anything like that. This is not the show, if I was a single woman, that I would be trying to be on, because I know me. Like, I can't take that, and Carrie should know herself. She can't take it neither. So okay, all right. So Carrie does get eliminated, by the way. So next time on the show, they're going to have sexy fun in the sun. They got a pool party going on. And then there's going to be 2 new singles. It looks like it's a male and a female who are going to be added to the cast. So it's like a kind of shake things up type of situation. Another thing that we see is that Courtney starts finding these love notes all around. And Corey gets asked, is it you? Is it you, Corey? Sending these little love notes all around, and that everyone happens to know about. And if I could guess, I would guess that it is Corey doing this. Now, he just has the personality type, and we've seen him get caught up in the past episodes. He got caught trying to be a player or whatever, and it backfired in his face. So I would not be surprised if he is the one sending or deliberately plotting these little love notes. So, okay, just checking my notes. That's it. That's all. See you on the next review or wellness chat.